We made it a whole 6 days without a problem, and then this. And I think to myself, there is absolutely no way that The Simpsons has predicted it again. But then I see that it's followed by absolute mayhem happening in the streets.
We think that this election was rigged, stolen, it was fraud.
Pushing past overmatched and outnumbered Capitol Hill police. Once inside, mayhem.
We breached the building!
Protesters became looters, turning the Capitol inside out. Sadly, 4 people died in the chaos, including 14-year Air Force veteran Ashley Babbitt, who was shot and killed as rioters attempted to break into this locked corridor.
But then we saw something that we never thought that was actually going to happen. Donald J. Trump, finally the man, the myth, the legend, ended up coming out and finally conceding and giving a powerful speech which sounded like this.
We have just been through an intense election and emotions are high. But now tempers must be cooled and calm restored. We must get on with the business of America. A new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power. This moment calls for healing and reconciliation. 2020 has been a challenging time for our people.
So now that we know that Biden's going to be the president now, for sure, and there's actually going to be no riots happening in the streets, hopefully, what sectors are going to be booming in the next 4 years of a Biden presidency? Let's take a look. So under a Biden presidency, we want to know what sectors are going to be doing very well under the next 4 years of a Democratic leadership who have the seat and the Senate. The first industry that we're going to talk about today is going to be the renewable energy sector. On his website, he has a clear outline of 9 key elements of his plan for clean energy revolution, where he plans to rejoin the Paris Agreement and be net zero emissions by 2050. I mean, that's a pretty big goal. He has a righteous plan to target zero carbon electricity generation by 2035. He also promises to have a just transition for fossil fuel workers. Now, with Trump coming out and saying that Biden is going to be the next president of the United States of America, boom, just like that, Elon Musk is the richest person in the world. Now, Elon Musk is chasing after a vision to combat climate change. Most people will just lay back and relax after getting rich, but here is my man making tweets about getting back to the grind. Honestly, this is what a leader looks like. It just goes to show that the goal isn't to get rich, but the goal is to be revolutionary. When we start thinking with this mindset, instead of having the nicest car and the bling bling, it's more about the vision. This is how leadership is, and this is why lots of money is flowing into Elon's vision. With more and more vehicles in the automotive world becoming electric, the growth of charging stations is expected to grow 36.49% within the next 5 years. We have many battery-related technologies that first used to rely on fossil fuels. There's been a big battle that climate change is a hoax and that renewable energy will not work. Well, the next 4 years will really show how the solar industry will grow, the growth of wind farms, the fine-tuning of hydroelectric, the advancement of geothermal. Instead of polluting the seas, we will be using it for energy for man-made islands in the middle of the ocean. Imagine what that would look like. What people did on Capitol Hill was absolutely devastating, and they thought it was going to be the revolution.
Why did you want to go in?
We're storming the Capitol! It's a revolution!
And what happened? You were trying to go inside the Capitol?
Yeah, I made it like a foot inside and they pushed me out and they maced me.
But what the real revolution is that Joe Biden has a plan to slam a $2 trillion green energy revolution. But it's for the advancement of mankind. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me. Trust me, I live in Alberta, where the Canadian oil and gas is the bread and butter of our economy. So the argument can be made, what is money? But that's for another video. The second sector that I want to talk about today is the marijuana industry, and I know this is a super controversial topic, but don't worry guys, we're going to get into it pretty easily. And I think that this sector is going to be booming because of the next 4 years of Biden. A lot of places have kept it illegal in order to purchase or distribute marijuana. You can't go between state lines with marijuana, and now with the Biden presidency, it's going to be legal federally, and so this way a lot of people are not going to be getting in trouble just to transport goods. This is one of the most interesting topics because we always saw pot stocks as a pump and dump stock. These industries have been proven to have medical properties to help patients with depression, anxiety, and other pain-related reasons. It can also be used recreationally. The reason for this sector to soar only to go down again is because there isn't a nationwide legalization about this flower. Transport cannot easily flow between states without the worry of an altercation with the law. Many people are still being charged and put in jail for minor marijuana-related crimes. Many celebrities like Kim Kardashian, just to name a few, have made a movement to get citizens out of correctional facilities for small, non-violent crimes. Other countries will follow suit and start to have a trade between North America and the global economy. We can look at companies such as Aurora Cannabis, which has had a bad rep for the past few years, switching their owners and doing reverse stock splits, and the price declining even more. This was one of my first companies that I invested in and I lost money on. The market for THC and CBD has exploded into drinks, food, and desserts. Seeing popular shows where young chefs come together and cook up a storm of delectable food which can catch you a buzz. We also have psilocybin companies making a big entrance in the medical scene, where we have high-level investors like Kevin O'Leary making huge investments and announcements, and that this will be the next cure for depression and other mental health related concerns. The third sector that I want to get into is about the digitization of healthcare. This industry is going to be revolutionizing the way that we are cared for as patients and progressing into the future, all from the touch of your phone. The digitization of healthcare, such investors like Kathy Woods from ARK Investments has an investment portfolio of ARK-G, which stands for genomics, has invested millions of dollars into telehealth companies such as Teladoc. In Canada, we have two main telehealth companies to look at, which would be Well Health Technologies and CloudMD. Recently, these companies have had a rapid growth in the share price, and with Well Health climbing 361% in the last year from a share price of only $1.67 to its current share price of $7.71 at the time of recording this video. And with CloudMD increasing 208% in the last year with a high of $3.17. These companies are doing what Facebook has done to socializing, what Amazon has done to shopping, and we are just at the beginning stages of development. These companies are diving into mental health industries and have already been helping people with suicide and mental breakdowns. Many people have to book off work for a whole day, not getting paid for, fight through traffic in order to get down to their appointment, pay for parking, and then wait in a waiting room with other sick people just for a prescription refill. These telehealth companies are giving people the freedom to see the doctor right in the comfort of their own home. This has helped many people who live in urban communities who have had a hard time traveling to their appointment when it is in the dead of winter between the snowy and cold months. This also enables less brick and mortar clinics, which means no need to cut down trees for parking lot spaces, in turn which helps Mother Nature, therefore helping the global scale fight climate change. Many people think that we still need to see doctors, and yes, we do, and we will. If doctors need to see you, they can invite you into the clinic for a full assessment. This improves clinical workflows and increases practice efficiency. Imagine being able to see the doctor no matter where you are in the world, as long as you have good internet access. How many of you felt that the doctor is trying to rush the process? Now doctors can spend more time with patients and give them straight focus instead of needing to push them out for the next patient who only wants to come in there for a simple sore throat. This also cuts patient costs and can make medical visits a lot cheaper because you see them over an app rather than an in-person visit. Since the world had to remain indoors due to the circumstances of 2020, people were not able to go to places, and many hospitals and clinics encouraged people to stay home. So this sector really took off in 2020. Only for people to realize that it's easier for them just to stay at home and use such services. The proof is in the pudding. These companies are going to push for efficiency that we desperately need in the healthcare sector at a global scale. So the next 4 years are going to be very interesting to watch. This has been one of the most controversial and most interesting elections we have ever seen in history, since the ones that I've ever seen. It has shown that under a Democratic leadership, the stock market has always performed a lot better versus the other. But I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor, and please don't take my advice and start investing in any of these sectors just because based on what some guy on YouTube has said. Guys, thank you so much for watching the Think Thick channel. I really appreciate all the love and support you guys have given me. Thanks for the love and respect. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Peace.